In this lesson, I'll tell you about creating 2D layout views from the 3D drawing. And for creating those layout views, I'll use this sample drawing. So let's first move to this layout 1 tab. And when you move to this layout tab, you'll notice that we have here a temporary viewport. We don't need it for now, so let's erase it. And we have a blank sheet of paper, but we don't know the size of paper and we also don't know the plotter which is used. So we need to configure these two settings at first. For configuring these two settings, right click on this layout tab and select page setup manager from this contextual menu. Now here in this contextual menu, you'll see this layout 1 selected. Click on it if it is not selected, if you have multiple layouts, and then go on, select this modify button. Now here we have an option for printer and plotter. From this drop down, select DWG to PDF plotter. I'm selecting this because I don't want to select any physical printer as of now, but if you want to select any other printer, you can select it as well. Now in the paper size, we have A4 paper size selected, and the current orientation of paper is vertical, which we don't want. So we want a horizontal A4 size paper. So let's scroll it a little bit upwards, and here we have this horizontal A4 size paper. So let's select it. Now we have made all of these settings. Click on OK and click on close here. Now the paper is set and it is ready for our layout view. So for creating the layout, go to this layout temporary tab. This tab will only be visible as long as you are in the layout view. Now go to this base view from create view panel and select from model space and wait for a moment for the drawing to appear. Now here we have this drawing. Click at any point in the drawing area. So one of the primary view will be created in this way. Now press enter and notice that your cursor will now follow all the remaining views. So whenever you move to the side of drawing, the corresponding view will be created depending upon the angle of projection which you have selected. So let's click at this point, then let's click here, and also let's click at this point for an isometric view and press enter when all of these settings are done. So here we have all of these views. Now if you want to check whether we have our drawing in first angle or third angle projection, then right click on this layout and click on this drafting standard setup. And here you'll see that currently our drawing is in first angle projection. So before making your drawing, make sure that you select any one of these two angles of projection. So I'm not going to change it because it will make our drawing very confusing. So I'll keep it at first angle and click on OK. Now we can move some of these views according to our requirement. For example, here we have this isometric view, and this isometric view is crossing this plotter margin. So the part of this drawing which is crossing the plotter margin will not appear in the final plot. So we need to make sure that it remains completely inside the plotter margin. So let's select it, click on this grip and move it a little bit inside like this. But now when we moved it inside, we can see that the proximity between these two views is very little, so we need to move it upwards. So make sure that this view is also moved a little bit upwards. Now we have clear projection of all of these views. Although these views can be in wireframe visual style, but generally the isometric view needs to be in shaded style. So we need to change the shaded view here. So select this view and click on this edit view button. Now here we have this hidden lines type of visual style applied to the isometric view. Click on this drop down and change it to shaded with visible lines and click on OK to accept the change. So now we have changed individual visual style of our view. We have created all of these views, and these all are dependent on the primary view which we created here earlier. So when we move any of these views, then it will move in accordance with the base view which we created. So right now I'm able to move this view towards left or right, but only in horizontal direction. Even if I take my cursor upwards or downward, you'll notice that my view will remain oriented in the proper alignment with the base view. Similarly for this view also, if I try to move it in the left or right direction, it will not move, but it can be moved in upward or downward direction, keeping it aligned with the base view. But if you want to break this alignment, then you can also do so for every individual view. For example, let's say that we want to break the alignment for this view. So let's select it, then right click and go to properties. Now from this property panel, expand it downward, and from here you will notice we have an option of view alignment. Let's select it and select broken. and close this property window. And now let's try to move this view again, and now we are able to move it anywhere we want. But I recommend you not to break this alignment, because it is better to keep it properly aligned if you want better control over your drawings. So I'll keep it aligned like this. So this was all about creating 2D layout views with our 3D drawing. In the next lesson, I'll tell you about adding section view and detail view to the drawings.